What's up there? Jay here. I'm here with the 300. So I'm gonna do this video to try to answer some of the questions that a lot of people have with this build. And this was a build with the intent of selling it. I never made this thing for myself. I tried to keep it as neutral design-wise, tried to make it perfectly functional, just so whoever bought it, you know, would have very, very little to worry about and have a whole lot of fun with it. One of the biggest questions I get, I think, it has to do with the body. So this is a 2017 300, and the body had 40,000 miles on it when I got it. So any car that has that many miles on it, you're going to expect to see a few dings here or there. And this car came from Texas. It was all 40,000 highway miles because it was a salesperson's car, and the front fascia probably has a few, you know, dings on it like you would find on a car with that many miles right on the highway. The windshield did too. I had since replaced the windshield, so it's a brand new windshield. It had some chips in it, so I just changed it out, and this thing is completely flawless. Another question is the hood scoop. So this is the OEM hood. I didn't replace it. I didn't want one of those fiberglass SRT style hoods that fit like crap and you still have to do all the paint work on it anyhow. I just wanted a simple and elegant and somewhat kind of hot rod solution to what I thought would have been a problem, which is heat. So these motors, you know, they produce a lot of heat. The blower needs a lot of cooling. It has this does have the OEM charge cooler and oil cooler. Charge cooler on this side, passenger side, oil cooler on the driver's side. So with this 300 balance, you don't have the air inlets that the other SRT cars would have. So that to me seemed like maybe a trouble spot as far as getting airflow. So I wanted to add either the extractors like on the fiberglass thing or a scoop just to get some incoming air movement flowing through there. And I feel like it's working. I mean, maybe it could make more power with more cooling, but after the initial dyno I did on this, I never really took, I don't race it. I never took it to the track. I don't really care about getting another 10 more or 15 more horsepower to get, you know, with more cooling available. I just wanted it to run reliably, which it does. Engine temps never get above 203. Air inlet temps always seem to be well below 200 after, you know, a couple hours of driving. So I think it works. Some people don't like it. It's a little controversial. It's a little IROC Camaro throwback, but to me, you know, there are little Easter eggs that make this not so much of a sleeper. There are no Hellcat badges on the fenders. There is one on the rear, you know, which I felt just kind of, maybe that's how it would come from the factory a little bit, you know, maybe because it's a 300 they wouldn't throw a bunch of badges on the side. So same thing with the tint. So I had this tint put on professionally. It's 15%. I hope I don't get that wrong, but it's Maryland legal tint. It's almost like the minimum, just a smokiness, but it looks great with the black trim and the black wheels. The wheels and tires are one of the only things that I purchased new for the build. So it's got wide body OEM style wheels and Nitto 555 R2s in the back. Those are 305s, and 555 G2s in the front, which have a little more tread depth. So if you're stuck in the rain, I feel like it'd be a little safer to have that in the front. So just trying to think about drivability, you know, more than anything. Let's talk about the engine. So the engine and trans, stock engine, stock HP 8 HP 90, all came from the same vehicle, which I bought from a seller on eBay who sells, I guess, power plants out of wrecked cars. He sold this to me as a package, drove it to me, and it looked like it had the original oil filter and the original oil on it. He said the car it came from had 10,000 miles on it. I'm like, it probably does. It was probably just due for its first service, and then maybe they wrecked it. That happens, but it was completely unharmed. It had all the original hoses, harnesses. I believe that's a stock air box. I don't know if, you know, it had an open filter from the factory. I'm not sure. Maybe it didn't. You hear a lot of that blower whine, so it seems like maybe that might be aftermarket. I don't know. But the transmission, everything was fine. It shifts just fine. The rotary shifter, we got that working too, so no issues there. The drive shaft, the rear end, the brakes, the I guess the spindles and all that stuff, like all that came from another vehicle. I think it was a 2018 Charger, and no issues there either. So it's all factory stuff. The rear end was fine. The brakes seem to have a lot of I don't know if you can see, there's a lot of pad life on there, and the rotors are, you know, plenty of surface area there, nothing to worry about, and all that's good. So the suspension, it doesn't have the active suspension or the active exhaust, so it's got BR Racing, adjustable coilovers in the front, adjustable dampeners in the back. It's lowered a little bit, but it's hard to tell. I had to actually raise the back a little bit just so it didn't rub on the highway, because just with me driving at first, it was kind of squat, and then you hit a dip on the highway and it would rub a little bit. So raised it up just a little bit, got rid of that. No issues there. The exhaust, it's a Gibson catback. However, it eliminated the resonators. It's got the factory cats, so it's no worry about emissions. It already passed the Maryland emissions, so I don't see why that would be an issue anywhere else. So there's no resonators, and it has mufflers, so like it's fairly quiet, you know, but if you get on it, you'll hear equal exhaust and supercharger whine. So it's a good balance there. So this vehicle does have a Taser. The Taser we hardwired into the trunk. I'll show you here. So it's right here, so you don't have to have that occupy your OBD2. It stays nice and hidden. And yeah, the Taser was kind of necessary to get all the SRT pages to work. You can use that to, you know, what do you call it, hot buttons. You can kind of through the screen on the dash, you can kind of set all of your presets. Like you can have the car start in sport if you want, some kind of light show thing. If you're not familiar with Tasers, you can do a whole lot with it, but I just use it for the bare essentials. Like I have it start in default, I hit the sport button, I program that to kick on sport, and you can see all of the engine parameters, all the stuff in the SRT performance pages, which is kind of cool. What else? So this engine, all the mechanical work was done in Rockville. Iron Mike, awesome guy. He did all the mechanical work, you know, put on the brakes, the wheels, the tires, the motor, trans, did all that stuff. We got all the lights working, even the SRT you know, running lights. Like those did not have a harness that worked with the motor, so like we had to get real creative there. And all of the mechanical work was done with Iron Mike. All the electrical and tuning, you know, getting the programming right, all the PCM and BCM work was done. AJ up at Hemi Tuner, Bay Shore, New York. He did an awesome job. He got this thing completely flawless. There's no lights on the dash, no engine lights, nothing like that. Everything works properly with the BCM, so key fob, all that stuff works. It does have a red key right now. Pretty sure you can go to a dealer and you can get a black key or valet key. They've got a process for that. We got the red key because we just wanted to get it working. So one more thing to do. The wipers also, I eliminated the squirters, but you got arm mounted squirters here, and they work just fine. So no, it doesn't have a sunroof. A lot of people think it does, maybe because of the way I was photographing it, but no, there's no sunroof. You know, had I found one this color, which is destroyer gray or ceramic gray, which is what I wanted, and had the sport appearance package, which is kind of like the front lip there, chin spoiler, you know, the little body kit and the wing, all that is sport appearance package. I wanted that. I wanted something, you know, a little bit newer, like 17, 18, and didn't want to spend a ton on it. I didn't want to buy a Hemi car because it's just a little bit more. So that's just kind of, that was the brakes. It didn't have a sunroof. I imagine it had a lot of weight too. I don't know if those roofs come like all the way back, you know, they might. So anything with the interior. So the seats are pretty much, they were like new when I got them. They came out of a 2020 Charger, and I imagine that was probably out of another vehicle too, because the yeah, they're in great shape. It smells like a new car here too. It's got the old Laguna leather tag on there. They had triggered like a seatbelt light, I guess because maybe they were in a vehicle that was involved in an accident, and it hits a sensor saying that the seatbelt's like, you know, pulled in. You got to send that part out to get it reset, which we did. All good. Lights are out, so everything works perfect there. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I can think of. It's the real deal. I mean, I put a lot of money into this. I'm probably into it like $67,000, $68,000 just to get it to where it is now, and I think it's definitely worth it, you know. But I do need to sell this thing. I need the room. I need to move on to the next one. So I am looking to get some kind of reasonable offer for it. If you can think of a number, and if you're serious and you want to come see it, you want to take a drive, just let me know. Just send me a comment. I'll be looking for them, and you know, I'll take probably, I want to say high 50s. You know, I'll go down that low, just to get it down the road, because this thing is awesome. It just needs someone to daily it. I've never dailied it, but it'd make a great daily. So yeah, let me know if I can do anything else to help show this thing off, short of doing any donuts or anything like that, which it'll do happily. I just want to save some tire tread left for the new owner, and I'm sure they would appreciate that. All right, thanks for watching. Bye.